Hi guys, so I'm just going to go over the notes for finding a missing height because I think it's quite challenging. I've got a bit of a new gadget that I want to try out where I can write the notes as we go through them, but it's harder than it looks. So I'm just going to go and see how it goes. Hopefully it'll be all right. So we've got a sphere has a diameter of 8 centimeters. Calculate its volume, given your answer correct to 3 significant figures. The first thing we need to do is write out our sphere formula. So we've got Vs equals 4 over 3 pi r cubed. And then 4 over 3 times pi times, now my diameter is 8, so I have to divide that by 2 to have 4 cubed. Now if I throw that in my calculator, I get 268.08. And I'm just putting the dot 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 because I need to round it here. In our question, it asks us to give our answer correct to 3 significant figures. So then we'll have 268. The number before the 8 is 0, so it's not going to change it at all. And then I need to remember input in my units, which is centimeters cubed. Now we have to be careful here because when I've been looking through your questions, they've been great, to be honest. Your actual layouts have been fab, but we're forgetting to put in the units, or we're putting in centimeters and not putting in the cubed. We'll lose marks for that in the exam, so we need to be careful as we go through. Now our next question, if I can get there we go, is a cone has a base diameter of 7 centimeters and a height of 8 centimeters. Now if you've looked at the PDF notes already, you'll notice I've actually changed those numbers because it was the same numbers as the starter before. Now if you've done it, it doesn't matter. I just wanted to give you a different example to go through. So we've got VC equals 1 over 3 pi r squared h. Now actually, like the sphere, I never said this when we was going through that. You're given it on the formula sheet. You don't need to remember it, but you do need to know what everything stands for. So again, diameter of 7 centimeters. So our radius will be 3.5 squared. And then times our height, which is 8. And then we put that in our calculator and get 102.62 dot dot dot. But it doesn't specify in this one, so I would just round it to 103 centimeters cubed. If you've left it as 102.62, that's absolutely fine. If they don't specify, they can't penalise you for it. And then our last one, number 3, a pyramid has a rectangular base measuring 16 millimeters by 12 millimeters and a vertical height of 10 millimeters. Calculate the volume of the pyramid. So again, our first time we're going to do VP equals 1 over 3 A times H. Now remember, our A we have to work out at the side. It's our cross section. So we have A equals. Now we've got a rectangular base, so my area for a rectangle is L times B. And we'll have 16 times 12, which is 192 millimeters squared. And then we'll use our 192 in our formula over here, so we'll have 1 over 3 times 192 times our height, which is 10. When we put that in our calculator, we've got 640 millimeters cubed. Now here, this is quite a good starter for what we're doing because it's got all of our main ones that we've got. So we've got our sphere, which we're given, we've got our cone, which we're given on the formula sheet, and then we've got our pyramid. We also need to know a cylinder, cuboid, and so on. We need to know our more basic ones, but those ones you need to know. So make sure you check on the notes, hopefully I've written down, given this on formula sheet, and so on. If you're not sure, have a look on the formula sheet yourself, and then you can see. Right, so we're going on to our next part. So be able to substitute values into an expression. If you're able to do any of the starter where we know R is 4 and so on, you've done that. Be able to calculate the volume of all shapes. We've actually done all the shapes at National 5 already, and this is the one that we're on to today. Be able to calculate a missing height or a radius from the formula that we've got. And you've actually already done some past paper questions. You've done them yesterday with the composite shapes. They're just the exact same. Now your missing height or radius questions that we're doing today, they are past paper questions. So it's kind of 2 birds, 1 stone. So we've got a calculate a missing height, and a pyramid with a base area 20 centimeters squared has volume 250 centimeters cubed. What's the height of the pyramid? So instantly we need to have a look what's the shape we've been given, so what formula do I need to start with, and the fact we're given the volume in this case, so we've got to find something else. So our pyramid, we've got VP equals 1 over 3 A times H. Now normally we'd have a little sidebar here, and then we do A equals our formula, but we're actually already given the area. The reason we know this too, this squared, so area is 20 centimeters squared. I don't need to work it out, I'm given it. Now when we're given the volume, don't worry about the fact it's on the left hand side of the equation. We just have to substitute in all of our points exactly where they are in the formula. So this V is going to be 250. Then I've got 1 over 3 times 20, and then times this missing H. Just leave it as H, we don't know what it is. So we're going to get rid of the bottom of this fraction here. Now remember, 1 over 3 is the same as divide by 3, so we have to do the opposite and times by 3. So 250 times by 3 is 750, and then equals 20 times H. And then again, we're having a look at this. We want this H by itself. How am I getting rid of this times 20? I need to do the opposite. I need to divide by 20. And then you can do it straight away. I'm just going to show you the actual calculation that we put in our calculator. So 750 divided by 20, which we get a height of 37.5 centimeters. And that would be our final answer. But notice it is much more challenging than just substituting our points into the formula, popping our calculator, getting an answer out. We need to actually have a look here, because what we're looking at, or what we're looking for, has other things on the side of the equation. We now need to use inverse operations. So think of it like solving an equation. Once we substituted in our points, we want to solve an equation and go from there. Right, so number 2. A cone is 6.4 centimeters high. It has volume 150 centimeters. Calculate the radius of the cone. Now again, we're told cone, so we're going to start with cone formula. So VC equals 1 over 3 pi r squared h. So the volume of the cone is 150. Then we've got 1 over 3 times pi times, we don't know the radius, so we're going to leave it as r squared, times 6.4. Again, the same as last time, I want to get rid of this fraction, make my life a little bit easier. I mean, not much easier, but we then don't have a fraction to contend with. So we'll have 450 equals pi times 6.4 times r squared. Now, all I've done there is put my numbers together. It doesn't matter what order things are multiplied, because like 2 times 3 is 6, or 3 times 2 is 6. I know I actually use that one all the time, but it doesn't matter what order it is if you're multiplying. So I want to get rid of that full thing. So I'm going to put that in a bracket, or pi times 6.4, and I'm going to divide by that. So divide by pi times 6.4. So we'll have r squared equals 450, all divided by pi times 6.4. Now at this stage, it doesn't actually massively matter. You can either put that in your calculator now and get an answer. I think that was in your notes. It was 22.38 something, but that's just off the top of my head. I personally like to then just put in your square root and then put it all in a calculator in one go. So then we'll have the square root of 450 divided by pi times 6.4. But you have to put that in a bracket. Okay, if you're going to do that, put it in the bracket. We will get exactly the same answer, so it doesn't matter. It's completely your choice. You can see this way on the video, or you can see the other way where we get our answer and then we go from there. So again, going back, having a wee look, we've got our formula. We've multiplied by our bottom number in the fraction to get rid of it. Then we've divided by our other numerical values that are there to get r squared by itself. And then we've got, take the square root, and then that's our final answer there. So it's 4.73. They haven't specified in the question in either one for significant figures, so we just leave it there. And then this last one, it says exam style. Normally, actually, these would be in 2 separate parts. We'd normally have an A, and then we'd have a B. So this one I'd actually maybe say is slightly harder than the exam style that we've got. So I'm going to label it A and label it B. we've got a cylindrical soft drinks can is 15 centimeters in height and 6.5 centimeters in diameter. And then this part here, it says it holds the same volume. So I'm going to jump back. We need to work out the volume of the cylinder. So our cylinder is V-sil, you don't need to write that part. It's just pi r squared h. Now you're not given it on the formula sheet, but as you can see, it's very, very similar to a cone. So if you remember, a cylinder is just a cone without the third, then that's absolutely fine. So we're going to have pi times, can't remember my numbers, 6.5 diameter. So I need to divide that by 2 to get 3.25 squared, and then a height of 15. Now if I throw that on my calculator, 497.75. I know it says to 1 decimal place, but it's my final answer. So this one's absolutely fine to leave as so. And then our part B, it says we've got a new cylindrical can. So before I even read further on, I'm going to write in my formula for the volume of a cylinder because it's exactly the same. So once we know our shape, put it straight in. It says it holds the same volume. So underneath V-sil, we can put, oh, I get my wrong number, 497.75 equals. And then it's going to be pi times r squared, and then our height is 12. We're not given the radius. Now, in the question, we're asked for the diameter, but we cannot change the formula in any way, shape, or form. So to get diameter, we first need to get the radius. Now, in our cone, we had to get rid of the third. We don't have that scenario, so we're going to divide by pi times our other number, which is 12, divide by pi and our other number, which is 12. We can do it separately, but if we've got the process, it's maybe easier to just go all in one go. So 497.75 all divided by pi times 12. Again, your notes, I will have done it in 2 steps, but I've then got my final answer here before substituting it in. I normally in class would just go straight to the final answer, so I'm just going to do that. It is your choice there, your preference, it doesn't matter. But if you're putting in the actual answer, do not round too early. Right, so now we'll get R equals, what's going on here? Apologies. Okay, apologies for that. I'm really not sure what happened, but I think I've got it fixed now. Right, last line. So R equals, and then it'll be 3.63. Again, I know it says to 1 decimal place, but we need to show our unrounded answer first. So once we've got a radius, we need to times that by 2. And we'll get 7.26 or 7.3 centimeters to 1 decimal place. And so each time to show what we're doing, show our process. As I say, that one, they normally would have a specific A and a specific B part. So in your actual exam, it will actually be slightly easier worded when we're going through. And then the questions you've got here, we've just got a few questions. Use your notes because they're almost exactly the same. So we've got a cone, another cone, so we want to use the same one. One thing I would mention here, 7 litres is the same as 7,000 milliliters or 7,000 centimeters cubed. So when using your volume, use 7,000 rather than 7. The same here, this milliliters is exactly the same as centimeters cubed, so we can just use it as though we were going through exactly the same as that. Now, hopefully this has been helpful. As I say, there's been a few technical issues, but I've only just got it. But I will put up a poll later, so you can let me know if you found it helpful, if you've not found it helpful. And then hopefully the next time I do it, I will be able to do it without these issues, although in class I've had the same issues, so it doesn't make much of a difference. All right, I'll speak to you later. Bye.